All right, welcome back to another one of our film reviews. Today we are talking Pittsburgh Steelers rookie linebacker Payton Wilson. Wilson continues to get better and better for Pittsburgh. He's become quite the playmaker in a number of ways for this defense, and we'll break down everything he's doing so well. As always, if you appreciate this content, give us a like, give us any comments with any feedback you might have. But without further ado, let's jump right into the film. All right, we're going to open up with Payton Wilson's big time impact play. There he is on the left side of your screen. This was a scoop and score to help ice the game for the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. You can see the Steelers have Wilson and Queen lined up right here on the line of scrimmage to blitz. The Bengals counter with what they did all game long. They had the fullback or the tight end walked up close to the line of scrimmage. And strategically, what the Bengals try to do is they try to get the fullback or the tight end to pick up Wilson, have one of the guards pick up Queen, and then leave their tackles one-on-one on the end. So this is a situation, this is a counter to that. So what the Steelers do is they actually have Wilson. They say, all right, man, normally you like to maybe blitz and try and get pressure in your own right. In this case, you're not going to do it. You got to be a team player. We want you to fire into the guard, number 61, and blow him this way. You're going to pull the tight end with you because he's going to block you. Then we're going to loop Queen around. So basically, in this case, Wilson is sacrificing himself. Team player, he does a great job, and he gets rewarded with a fumble recovery for a touchdown. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap right there. You can see Wilson firing to 61. You can see 89 picking up Wilson or trying to pick him up right there. Then Queen loops around. 89 is late to pick him up, and he would have had the sack right there on Bro, except Herbig does a really good job on the left side of your screen, forces the fumble. Wilson's Johnny on the spot, runs it in for 6 points right here. Dagger touchdown for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Again, Payton Wilson has made a lot of plays in his own right. He's a great guy in coverage, great guy in run defense, and we'll break down all of that. But he's the quintessential team player right here, throwing his body into an offensive guard to run a pick for his teammate, drawing two guys with him, opening it up for number 6. Again, 6 would have definitely hit Joe Burrow, pressure on him there. Herbig got there first. Great play by 51. But then again, scoop and score, playmaking mentality. Love to see this from Payton Wilson right here. All right, let's take a look at it from the wide copy. Watch Wilson throw his body into 61, openings up for number 6. Again, Herbig, great job at the top of the screen. Give credit where credit is due. Beat 75 easy, sack fumble. Wilson's there to scoop it up. But again, it's about being a team player. It's about doing the little things, right? It's about hustling the football, opening things up for your teammates, all those kind of things that young players sometimes don't do, especially if they're really talented playmakers in their own right in college. Wilson obviously was at NC State. Here, he's more than willing to throw his helmet into an offensive guard to open things up for his teammate, and he's rewarded with a big turnover. Great play here from 41. All right, let's go with some run defense. There's Payton Wilson right there hiding directly behind the goalpost. You can barely see him, but there he is right there, basically in the middle of your screen. This is going to be a standard inside zone concept here for the Bengals run offense. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to do a good job with gap defense. You can see Hayward's going to have this gap. Queen's going to have this backside B gap right there. We got 95 Benton with this B gap right here. We got TJ Watt head up on the tight end in this situation. He's going to have this gap. And of course, Wilson right there, he's responsible for this gap right here, this A gap to the right of the Bengals center. You can see that the design running scheme right here, it's got a chance for the Cincinnati Bengals if they can get hats on hats. If they can get a reach here and a reach here, they got a chance for a double team here, and then it's all on Payton Wilson to not get cut off. This is a situation where offenses really like this, maybe even for a design cutback, but Wilson and the rest of the Steelers defense does a great job. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see right there. Across the board, 95, beats the guard, makes a play. Wilson comes in 2, TJ Watt's there. And this is just great defense across the board. Look at Hayward playing at a defensive player of the year level, doesn't get reached, runs down the line of scrimmage. Great job there. No cutback opportunity for the running back. How about Benton jumping inside? Don't really love that too much because if you jump inside, sometimes the running back can get outside you, but he doesn't and he makes a play. And I tell you what, you can jump inside when you know you got a guy like TJ Watt who's just going to embarrass a rookie number 71 and get in there too. But let's give credit where credit is due to Payton Wilson. This is kind of the underrated stuff. When you have a linebacker that is fundamentally sound, he's in his gap perfectly right there. Great hands, great head position. Offensive lineman can't reach him. Great base, technically sound. Again, you can see his arm extension. Let's say Benton gets reached right here and he's thrown inside and TJ Watt gets blown out. Again, not likely to happen. They're good players. Wilson's right there to make the play. And when you know as a defensive lineman that you've got a young linebacker that's going to be fundamentally sound, that's going to play the run in such a good position and is going to handle his job perfectly, it allows you to jump around blocks. It allows you to be aggressive. And that's sort of an underrated aspect to the Steelers defense. Because of the emergence of guys like Payton Wilson, these defensive linemen feel like they can be really aggressive. And this is just good quality team defense across the board. 41 doing his part.
Yeah, Nick, and we see Peyton Wilson. He's been good this entire year. He's been involved a lot this entire year. A guy that's gotten a lot of reps. but he's really come on the last 4 weeks of the season. You see again, against Washington, moving into Baltimore, Cleveland, Cincinnati. He's really turned it on and had some very, very good games. The last 3 weeks, especially against Baltimore, he had that 92.4 defensive grade. Against Cleveland, 79.7 defensive grade. And then against Cincinnati here, the 81.5 defensive grade. He's really turned on. I think he's starting to put together a lot of pieces in a couple of key categories we'll go over a little bit later. But I really love what I'm seeing from Payton Wilson. I think he's putting it all together and looking like he could be a starting linebacker potentially for this Steelers team for years to come.
All right, next up, there's Payton Wilson right there, of course, right smack dab in the middle of your screen. This is what I call a check the box kind of play. And what I mean by check the box is if you're going to be a starting linebacker in the NFL, this is a play you have to make. You have to check the box. Every team in today's NFL runs a version of this play. Basically, what's going to happen is the running back's going to run like a flare, a swing out towards the sideline, and you're going to get vertical kind of pick plays, kind of not really hear from the tight end inside receiver. They're basically trying to isolate the linebacker and say, okay, can you navigate through this trash and make the play? This is a situation where, if, again, you want to be a starting linebacker in the NFL, you got to make this play. Wilson does. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see running back release. Wilson has to navigate through the trash. Hawks the running back down, 3 or 4 yard gain, checks the box. Again, not scary impressive, right? It's not a tackle for loss. It's not an impact play, but this does matter, right? This is good team defense in this situation. It allows the Steelers to get away with rushing 4. It allows the Steelers to play man on man, right? A lot of young linebackers get caught in the trash. They give up big plays. They get kind of lost a little bit. And then defenses are forced to play zone or they're forced to blitz to try and get pressure on the quarterback. Because Payton Wilson can check the box and make plays like this. Again, nothing super special. It's a 4-yard gain. It's not a loss for the offense by any means. It's not a huge win, but certainly not a disaster play either. Good open field tackle too. Wrap him up. Good fundamentals across the board. But the fact that he makes the play, it allows the Steelers to be flexible. It allows them to play man on man. It allows some of these pass rushers to go crazy a little bit instead of having to worry about some funky blitz or funky stunt, right? Again, this is Payton Wilson checking the box. Great job here from the rookie. Again, navigating the trash, hawking down the running back, making the play. Doesn't look overly complicated. In reality, it's not, but it's a box you need to check. A lot of young guys struggle in this and some older guys too. Not Payton Wilson. Nice play from 41. All right, let's show one of Payton Wilson's smarter plays we saw all game long in Cincinnati. There he is right there. He's walked up like he might blitz, but he's basically matched up one-on-one right here with the running back. And this is a situation right here where the Cincinnati Bengals are using this running back to pick up and help pass protect, whether it's a blitzer or help the left tackle or left guard. And then he's going to run out in the flat as a check down for Joe Burrow if no one's open downfield. Payton Wilson does such a great job. So early on, Chase Brown here, the running back, he acts like he's going to pass protect. A lot of times in that situation, young guys say, oh, he's pass protecting, I'm going to blitz. And then smart quarterbacks, which Joe Burrow obviously is, they hit him for a big play. Wilson doesn't take the cheese. He does a really nice job sticking with his responsibility. It results in a sack for the Steelers. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see Brown right there, pass protecting a little bit. Wilson doesn't take the cheese, stays with the running back, shuts him down, no check down, sack for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Again, rookie or young linebackers, I guarantee you, early on, right here, they see the running back going pass protection. They see the screen gas. They're like, okay, I got to fire. And then when that happens, Joe Burrow hits a dump off for a big play. Instead, Payton Wilson does his job. Smart player, recognizes, hey, that's a chip. I still got to cover him just in case. Again, Joe Burrow's looking that way. Right here, Joe Burrow's like, no one's open down the field, hit the check down. But Wilson's right there to pick it off or drop it for a loss, right? Joe Burrow can't go anywhere with the football. This is awesome from Payton Wilson. Again, little things. You didn't notice this on the broadcast. Recognizing it's not a pure protection. He's going to chip and go out in the route, forces Joe Burrow to eat the football. This is winning team defense once again from Payton Wilson.
Yeah, Nick, we talk about the aspects of where Payton Wilson's really been picking up his game. This is one of them. Coverage. He's been phenomenal in coverage, especially the last 5 weeks of this season. He's gotten really great grades through those seasons, but as on the year as a whole, we're not talking rookies. We're talking about all the linebackers in the NFL. He's the number 4 graded coverage linebacker in the NFL this year. He's done a very, very good job at that, especially the last couple of weeks with his highest grade being a 90.8 in coverage in that time span. Really phenomenal job by Payton Wilson in coverage so far. And it's impressive to see such a young guy be able to make these reads and coverages look so easy so early on in his career.
All right, next up, another run defense here for the Steelers defense. The Cincinnati Bengals here, they're going to run a pin and pull. You can't really see it, but they're going to pin the end man on the line of scrimmage. That's Herbig right there. Again, outside of your screen, right on the hairy edge there. And they're going to pull offensive linemen around and get the running back on the perimeter. This is Wilson all the way on the backside. They're going to try and cut him off with number 71, rookie right tackle, Marius Mims for the Cincinnati Bengals. Mims stands no chance. Again, this is a great example of Wilson. He would have made the play. Hayward did, again, an incredible job to get there first, but I think it shows how bright the future is for the young linebacker. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. There's a toss. You can see the pin. You can see the pull. It looks like they've got a chance here, but there's Hayward, 97, there to blow it up. Great play by 97. No doubt about it. He's had an incredible season. Let's look at Payton Wilson, immediately recognizing, fights through the block, hustles down the line of scrimmage. If 97 doesn't make the play, 41 makes it too. And again, it's what we've seen all like basically the last month from the Pittsburgh Steelers. TJ Watt, Hayward, Benton, these guys are making plays. They're having a great stretch. Herbig too, of course. But I tell you what, 41 would have made the play 9 times out of 10. And in some cases, he did make the play when the other guys didn't. And when the guys, the coaches for the Pittsburgh Steelers, these veterans, when they watch the film, they're like, hey, listen, if I screw this up here, I know 41's got my back. They can be aggressive. They can go for the turnovers. They can shoot gaps. They can create negative plays. This is what happens when you trust young players behind you as a defensive lineman. You can be aggressive DBs. You can fire in there. When you've got a team playing with confidence and belief in one another, regardless if you're a vet who's played for 30 years like Hayward seemingly has, or a guy who's played for 30 minutes like Wilson has, you can execute at a high level, and that's what the Steelers are doing. All right, from the wide copy, watch Wilson hawk this down. I mean, this is great stuff right here. He's in a perfect position to make the play. Again, he would have been right there for like a 2 or 3 yard game for the Bengals. Hayward is just a little bit better, right? Beats him there to the spot just because he's that good of a football player. It's nothing against 41, right? Wilson would have been right there too. But I tell you what, when they watch this film, like I said a number of times, Hayward, Watt, Herbig, all these other guys on defense, the coaching staff, Tomlin, they're going to look at this and say, listen, Payton Wilson, he is flying around. He's there to cover in case our guys weren't going to be there. He's going to earn more reps because of it. All right, had to go back to the Browns in the snow game, right? One of my favorite games to watch on film just because it's so crazy to see all the snow. This is one of my favorite defensive strategies that you'll see teams run, and I love it when they do it. You can see the Steelers, they have their edge defender out here and Herbig inside just like this. Now, based on alignment, I think that's Hayward right there too. You can see that Hayward's going to have this gap. You can see, I believe that's Herbig's going to have this gap, and then Wilson's going to have this gap, right? Just basically by structure. And the Browns are just going to run a standard zone right here. So normally what you would expect is tackle to get him, zone double team. Here, let me clean up the picture for you guys. Tackle to get him, zone double team here up to the linebacker, and the guard working a reach, and the running back working this, hitting the seam just like that. So what the Steelers do here, and I love this strategy so much, is they do an assignment switch, and they swap responsibilities. So this time the edge defender who would have this gap, he slants inside to take this gap. What that means is that number 68, when he goes to reach him and he goes inside, he's going to wash him down. The running back's going to read that and then immediately bounce outside. That means Wilson, right? We talked about an assignment switch. He was originally going here. He's got to fly out here. Does a great job. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see edge rusher goes inside. Wilson flies outside, makes a tackle. Perfect. I love this strategy, and this is great execution across the board. Again, Hayward does a phenomenal job there too as well, taking up 2 blocks. But I tell you what, Wilson executes this perfectly because right here at the snap, you can't tell, right? You have no idea. There's no cheating. Wilson's not trying to get an early start. He just immediately scrapes to the outside, basically tricks Nick Chubb, running back for the Cleveland Browns, to bounce it, and then he's there to blow the play up. This is elite level run defense from Payton Wilson. We've seen him do good things in coverage. We've seen him be a team player in the pass rush game as well. We've seen him hawk plays down or have the potential to hawk plays down on the backside, but his ability to defend against the run on the play side is outstanding. He is a complete player for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I think as he get more reps, he'll get better and better.
Yeah, and again, as we see Wilson go up against Nick Chubb here, formidable running back, maybe not so much this year, but throughout his career, he's been really, really good. We can look at one thing again that Wilson is doing very strongly. It's really growing in the run game. This game against Cleveland, one of his higher graded run defense games all season long, 68.7 run defense grade for Payton Wilson. He's got some good pass rush grades in there, but he really hasn't had that many pass rush snaps. He only had 18 all season as a compared to 107 run defense snaps. They're really trying to get this guy acclimated in the run defense game, really put it up against a good running back here, showing that he's got the prowess and ability to do really well. Graded out good against the Browns. I think that's another place where he's growing as well. Slowly, not quite as good as he has been in coverage, but he's doing relatively well in the run game as well.
All right, let's end on a perfect example of team defense involving Payton Wilson, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And there, of course, he is right there in the middle of your screen, just left of the hash. This is obviously before the snow really started to fall against the Cleveland Browns. And here the Browns are going to run kind of a long trap. They're going to pull the guard to kick out the defensive end over here. We're going to get a one-on-one block on Hayward. Tight end's going to get up to number 6. Down block here by the center. And then we're going to get the guard up here on Payton Wilson, just like this. And then the running back's going to take this track just right here, reading Hayward's block. So how it ends up going is this offensive lineman actually gets right in here. This tight end's trying to get a hat on a hat here. So basically what happens is you get seals here, and then basically a seal here, and the running back, some seal here. The running back's just going to try and hit it through just like that. But everybody to a man, 94, Payton Wilson, Hayward, of course. They do a great job maintaining their gaps with great technique. And without actually beating a block, they blow up this entire play. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see the down block. You can see the pulling guard. You can see the one-on-one block on Hayward. You can see the tight end insert for number 6 right there, Queen. So we see hats on hats. It looks like there's a little bit of a seam here potentially. And look, 94 does a good job, but he doesn't win outright. Let's look at Hayward here. Hayward does a pretty good job on 65, but he doesn't win outright. You can see Herbig, he kind of jumps around the pulling guard right there. Don't really love that. He's kind of blocked there. Queen, he's got a hat on a hat right there with Njoku, the Browns tight end. And you got Wilson right there. He's got the guard on him as well. So there's hats on hats for the Cleveland Browns. But look at this technique right here. Look at every single defensive player. You got Hayward, great base, arm extended. 94, base, arm extended. Payton Wilson, great base, great pad level. If you're a smaller guy compared to an offensive lineman, you need it, arm extended. Even Queen's got some arm extension and good base there. Fundamental defense forces just this massive humanity here. Nowhere to go for the running back. Again, there's no one there to actually make the play. No one beats the block, right? Nick Chubb doesn't really get tackled by anybody in a traditional way. But because the Steelers play good fundamental team defense with Payton Wilson on the field, there's nowhere for the play to go. No one on the Cleveland Browns really misses a block, and it ends up being like a 2-yard run. This is great defense. This is great technique, understanding your assignment, great execution for the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is one of the reasons why they're so good, is that sometimes they're dominant. Hayward can blow things up. Watt, Herbig, these guys can make plays across the board. But even when they don't make plays, they're so fundamentally sound, so technique-driven, understanding their assignments. They play together so well. They are a team up front across the board to a man on the defensive side of the ball, and Payton Wilson is a big part of this. Great rep here, fundamentally sound from 41. Again, from the wide copy, watch Wilson get on the offensive lineman, because right there you can see hats on hats. Looks like there's maybe a chance there, but extension, nowhere for the running back to go, just a mass of humanity. This is, again, perfect team defense. Payton Wilson does a great job. Who's jumping around blocks? Herbig is, don't love that, but everyone else taking on the offensive lineman, taking on the tight end with great base, great long arms, great extension, good punch. All eyes. Wilson's eyes on running back. Queen's eyes on the running back. On the edge, eyes on the running back. Hayward, eyes on the running back. 94, trying to get his eyes on the running back there. He kind of needs to turn his head a little bit, but he's a good job driving the center back. Everyone's maintaining their gap. Everyone's with a good base getting extension. Everyone is condensing the hole. Great team defense across the board. Payton Wilson here, once again, really nice job. He fits in absolutely perfectly for what the Steelers are trying to do. Outstanding pickup, Payton Wilson.